Hello friends, it's time to feed our worms. It's a little late in the day, but that's okay. We got two very, very wet, tired puppies who just got back from the dog park, got some baths, and I was like, it's time to feed the worms. So, quick recap. Tier 3 is at the bottom. We're starving that tier line and we're finishing up any of the bedding. And then tier 1 and 2 got some small feedings. And then tier 4 was the one that, if you saw the video from the other day, we took some of the food after their latest feeding and essentially used that as bait to move the worms out to our urban worm bag out on the porch. So this week we have a lot of watermelon chunks that have been defrosting since this morning, so way too long probably. And that is what we're going to be feeding them because as we're in peak hurricane season here in Florida, I'm trying to use up the frozen food that is most likely to make a mess. So just really quick, I want to check on our tier 3 down here that's been starving, hopefully maybe migrating. Meanwhile, ow, Moose. Moose is eating. So I'm just in here trying to gauge how much worm population is still here. So, I mean, we're seeing a lot of movement, so there's clearly more than a few of them down here. So maybe we should bait these worms? I don't know, we'll let them keep working for a little bit, but I mean, there's obviously plenty of worms still here. So maybe we'll bait them another time, I don't know, we'll see. But I'd like to let them starve a little bit more. So our next tier is tier 1. And this is the tier that was just started a few, weeks ago. Hold on a second. Wally, what's wrong? Why are you mad? Rude. So this is the tier that was just started not too long ago. It doesn't have a lot of worms in it. So this tier 1 got a small feeding last week. So we're gonna take a quick look at where I told. Wally, how rude! How rude! I don't know if you guys can hear our neighbors out, but Wally does not like people out in the neighborhood doing things they're not supposed to be doing, which is pretty much being outside their house. Okay, so there's still a little bit of food over here, like just the tiniest amount of banana peel left. So I'm gonna feed them in this corner over here. So I want them to have some food, and I think the watermelon is gonna go pretty quick. So we're gonna give them a little bit of watermelon. Not a lot, but a little bit. So let's see. I always say like a little bit, but I don't know how much is really like. So I'll put like, I want to give them more than that, but also I think 4 chunks of watermelon for them is probably enough for them to burn through in the next couple days. Well, I don't want to assume either. So we'll just do the normal. We'll put some paper towels on top of it and then put some of the bedding back in. No big deal. Wally's here because he fills the watermelon, and Wally loves watermelon, so he's like, hey, when do I get some watermelon? This isn't for you, buddy. Sorry. You got watermelon the other day. You're good. Wally, you just got your dinner, okay? I gotta check the worms. You already got dinner. Alright. Well, try not to block our light here. But I wrote down this front corner is where they got fed last. Oh, can you smell them, Wally? Alright, they're still working on there. Well, we got some banana peel, looks like. It's always the banana peel. Okay. Really just the banana. I don't see anything else. Okay. Let's cover them back up a little bit, gently. Alright, I just want to see, if there's worms over here. Okay, there's a little bit of worms off in that corner. Okay, there's some decent amount of worms in here. I'm gonna go ahead and actually utilize this back left corner here. I'm gonna do some watermelon back there. So we're gonna put 2, 4. I want to do a pretty decent sized chunk in here. We're gonna do a pretty good chunk. I know you guys can't see, but Wally's over here like, please can I get some of this? He loves watermelon. Okay. Wipe my hand off a little bit. So, nothing crazy. I'm sorry, Wally. You have to get this puppy some watermelon soon. Okay. So we're just gonna cover it with a paper towel, and then it's cool. You know, the watermelon's cool because it was frozen earlier, but it's not really cold anymore, if that makes sense. So, super easy there. Nothing too challenging so far this week. It's great. Okay, Wally, hey, you're in our business speaks. We gotta move. Okay, big guy. Thank you. Yeah, no watermelon here. Yeah, he's trying real hard. Okay, guys, that went all over the place. But we gotta check on our last tier, and then of course, like usual, our renter must check on the floor, which actually, ooh, he's not terrible. All right, I'll show you guys what we got. This is our renter mess check here. Okay, excuse me. There's no watermelon here, Wally. No watermelon here. But thanks, Wally. Ugh, rude. All right, so very manageable if you're a renter, and I expect most people are going to be a little bit more clean than we are. The worm feed and everything. All right, tier 4. We got some nice looking worms up here. I'm just gonna knock them back in though, so they don't wander off while they're sitting on our freezer. But a lot that they're up and about. Look healthy. I have a little party. Remington 30. Hey, Moose. That's nice, Moose. Thank you. Moose is singing the worms to sleep for us, maybe? That's okay. He likes it. He is okay. Alright, so tier 4. My notes say the front right corner is what we're looking to check today. Wally. You never know Wally was fed. He always acts like he's starving. Alright. Yeah. So they look like they demolished their food. They did really good in here. I'm really impressed. I'm not seeing a lot of food anywhere. I know the lighting's kind of crappy this week. Sorry, guys. One of those days. But I wanted to get the worms fed. I think over here, I'm liking the look of this area over here, because this tier is honestly, it's I don't want to say there's no bedding in it, but it's pretty close to done, for being honest here. So what I'd like to do is I'm gonna put a hearty amount of watermelon here. So we'll start with that and see how crazy do we want to get. I don't want to give him the rest of this bag. Like, you think that's too much? It'll never be enough. Anybody who watches real Instagram might know what that voice was from. Alright, let's see. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to dump this in, and all of the liquid is going to go probably drain through to the tiers below. So maybe we'll put the liquid. I feel like this might not have been the best idea I've ever had, but it's probably also not the worst. Alright, let's do this. Let's see if they can eat it. Maybe I've been underestimating the power of these wormies this whole time. What do you think, Wally? Wally's hoping real bad he'll get some watermelon out of this. Alright, let me just get my paper towel collection ready. Wally, you can't eat that watermelon, honey. Okay, so that's a slightly wet paper towel. Here's a dryer, paper towel. Okay, so let's see what if these guys step up to the challenge. That's probably the biggest feeding ever. That looks like a lot, but I know watermelon is like worm crack, so I'm anticipating them demolishing it pretty quickly. Will that happen? I don't know. We're going to cover with some paper towels so that I have some of the bedding getting put in there, and we're just going to bury it and see what happens. I think we're gonna come back next week and they're gonna be just annihilating that. I believe in those worms, but you know, like we said, there's not a lot of bedding in here right now, so I have the shredded bedding ready to go, but I don't think they need it. I think they're gonna finish this out, and then who knows, maybe what we'll do is we'll take some worms out of here, and then we'll come back in a couple days and see when they're all swarming over the watermelon, and maybe we bait some of the worms and we take them for one of the other tiers to help get them jump started. I don't know. I don't know. I gotta think about that. Meanwhile, I need to go. I got a little Wally here who really wants this watermelon. You want the watermelon, Wally? You do. You look so good. You sitting so good. You want your watermelon. Okay. Let's get the worms put away first. So I figured since Wally was being such a good boy, I'll go get some frozen watermelon. So if you guys have doggos, get some seedless watermelon and make sure all of the black seeds are out. They can't be digested, but the white seeds, I guess, can be digested. Anyways, cut them up in chunks and freeze them in baggies. And puppies love them. Moose, who eats everything, tolerates the watermelon. Wally, who doesn't eat all the outside random food, loves this. So they're tasting so good. Okay, Wally can have one. Moose, you can have one. Yeah, thank you. They gotta take it to go so they could go eat it over here. Yeah, they're good babies though. They're good boys. They love their watermelon. All right, guys, that wraps it up for us. This kind of late evening feeding. We're gonna be moving some worms around soon. You can tell we have some tiers in some interesting places. We have a tier that is being starved. We have a tier at the top, tier 4, that is nearly done. Actually, that tier 4, let's look at our notes. So that tier 4 was started back beginning of April. So it's right around that point. And honestly, it looks really good in there. It looks like it's nearly done. So, and that's the same tier that we've been pulling worms out, hey yo Wally, to put in our new urban worm bag. So, I'm gonna probably continue I'm gonna favor putting worms out in the worm bag when possible, and I can spare them in here because I think it's easier to maintain, or will be easier to maintain more worms out there. I'd rather do one big feeding than a bunch of big feedings in here. Like, I'd rather keep these small, but we'll see. For now, I'm gonna go start blow drying this puppy so he doesn't get a cold. You say goodnight, Wally? Good night, everybody. It's like, I don't see anybody. All right, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow with the urban worm bag feeding. Okay.